Okay, guys, so today we have a very special guest. We have my longtime friend and former roommate, Alex Smith Loves You. Alex,
The one, the only, in the flesh, in the presence.
yeah, so Alex, tell the audience a little bit about how we know each other.
Well, we go way back. I mean, back in college, probably in a nation service organization when we were volunteering together. And then about 2 or 3 years after we first knew each other, we decided to room together. And that's where the lifting came in because we had that sick setup in the backyard. So I missed it, so I came over today to try it out.
Yes, sir, that's the same setup we have right now. That squat rack, we spent years together.
That thing has never let us down.
I know. The squat rack and I, we've spent a lot of time together. So you squatted today for the first time in a while, Alex. How did it feel?
Absolutely horrible. My legs are already sore. That squat rack has seen the best of me, and now today probably the worst of me. That was a tough one. You worked me good. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I was showing Alex a little bit about where like some lifting cues and some improvements that I've made in my squat over the past couple years. Alex struggles a lot with ankle mobility, the calves.
I just can't get low. It's that Asian squat. I just can't get low. I remember when I went to China and I had to squat just to use the bathroom and I'd struggle. And then of course you add weight to it. I mean, the struggle's real. But I mean, look at you. Like you can get all the way down butt to the floor and I just fall backwards.
Yeah, it's I think the biggest thing that Alex struggled with is falling forward with his squats. Mm-hmm. You know, the what's it, calf mobility. It was difficult. And on my squats, I'm doing the low bar squat, so I'm getting my chest down lower. But he's doing the high bar squat, and it's a lot harder. You know, you have to get your butt back, you have to keep your chest up, and it's a lot of ankle mobility. You know.
Yeah, I'm glad we do it barefoot. I think barefoot helps a lot. When I used to squat, like before I met you, when I'd squat like maybe 95 would be my max. I mean, way back when. The shoes were just so unhelpful. And then I think going barefoot, I finally started to get stronger and was able to, realize like, oh, I have ankle mobility issues. But yeah, I see what you're talking about right there. Like I go down, my depth isn't the same as yours, and then I'm kind of leaning forward to compensate for falling back because of that mobility.
Yeah, exactly. I was saying the camera angle really helps a lot. You basically see a lot about your form, and yeah, you can really see it on the camera, like falling forward. It's just because you can't get like the ankle flexion. It's hard. You know, you have to really work on your ankle flexion to get that squat down. But yeah, first time you squatted in how long has it been?
Well over a year for a legitimate squat workout. Well over a year. I mean, this was pretty humbling.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, talk a little bit about where the people can find you. Talk a little about your social media presence.
Oh, geez, I ain't on YouTube like this, but I do TikToks. Somewhat cringe, but hey, got my own little niche going. Been doing that for a while. I've always wanted to do something like this, like make a more athletic based content, but the harsh reality is with a job and I'm just not athletic enough. But I think I see and watch gym vlogs, but doing a little kind of podcast squat everyday thing and just really diving deep into it is, if I was gonna do any content like this is what it would be.
How do you feel looking at yourself working out, doing the squats? It feels a lot different. I certainly felt very uncomfortable looking at myself lifting.
Yeah, I've never. That's a good point. I've never. I mean, got the little dog making noise. Carlos. I've never had sorry, let me backtrack. I've had to watch myself lift since we were doing heavier lifts, in the backyard for the one set. Yeah, I mean the one rep, video, right? Mm-hmm, so yeah. A video of multiple reps focusing strictly on form instead of just that one max rep for the story is very different, I will say. But it's good. It's good to watch your own form, albeit a little weird.
I know. I definitely, it feels a lot different when you're looking at yourself, like lifting. Oh, this is like what my body looks like.
Yeah. Like, oh, this is what my voice sounds like hearing your own voice and, watching your own, it puts into perspective, but helpful.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the biggest things when I was doing this. Like, I was thinking about how helpful it is, looking at my own form and about, like, my own voice and stuff like that, It's definitely really helpful doing all this stuff. But yeah, you can see me suffering with the low bar squat there. But yeah, looking at your own form is definitely really helpful.
So what I was thinking, like at this very moment for whatever set number this is, and now watching it myself, because we do watch ourselves lift, like in a commercial gym, because there's mirrors. Have you ever thought about like getting a mirror there, like on that wall? And is that helpful?
I need to get a mirror.
Or is the video review more helpful? Like,
I think that having a mirror, you can definitely for the problem that I had earlier with my knees caving inwards and causing hip problems, I think having a mirror in front of me would be really helpful because, this view doesn't really show how your knees cave inwards.
Right.
So I think that having the frontward facing would be really helpful. But, other stuff like the squat depth and stuff like that, I mean, it would be slightly helpful, but looking at yourself on camera is very different.
Yeah. Oh, God, we're going into the tibialis raises.
Yeah, so Alex showed me this exercise today. What is this even called? Like the bar that you're using?
They just call it a tib bar. If you Google it, like TIB bar, for the tibialis. But I mean, it's hard to find. This exercise is hard to do. They don't have this at gyms. It's very specific because, I mean, you know as much as I do. I mean, you can't really work that muscle group out, that front part of your shins. This is kind of the only way to do it other than, reverse calf raises. What would you call that? The toe raises?
Yeah, I guess it'd be something like a toe raise. But, I mean, this is literally the first time probably in my life I've ever done a tibialis anterior exercise. But, yeah, whenever you're Alex is distance running. And with distance running, you get a lot of shin splints. So I've never once worked out my tibialis anterior before, but I do know a little bit about shin splints and how debilitating they could be. So yeah, here's us helping each other out, just putting them on.
Yeah, because it's just so awkward picking it up off the floor and then kind of, because we're bigger guys, so I mean our butt is barely fitting onto that bench, right? Mm-hmm. With both of our thighs, so to just make life easier, why not help it out? But it's so interesting because I'm down 20 pounds trying to lose weight running, and then you're up 20 pounds putting on muscle, lifting every day. Was it day number 155?
Yeah, I'm on 155. This is 155 right now for me.
Dude, so these were hard right here, but what was the hardest day?
Oh, okay. The hardest day for me?
So far, in reflection.
155 days. The hardest day for me? Dude, God, that's a really hard question. Okay, when I first started, because I pretty much, I don't want to say I jumped straight into it, but I was lifting maybe 3 times a week before I started doing it every day. And I think probably day 10. Probably day 7 or day 10, I was so sore and my nervous system was completely shot. And I really couldn't squat. I really was struggling with it. So
you're done with it?
Yeah, I think the beginning was really hard. That soreness in the beginning. I think there was a specific day that I talked about how terrible of an idea this was.
Day number 10, I'll have to go back and find it.
Yeah, I know. Day 10, there's one of these days I think I was just talking about oh, this was a bad idea. But I mean, there's a guy, the nurse in the United Kingdom. Mm-hmm. He's been doing it for a few years now. So I knew that's not only possible, but it's very possible. So, I don't know. I was struggling a lot in the beginning, and I think it's gotten a lot easier. I don't get sore in my quads how I used to. I think that beginning I was dying, the soreness in my quads, I couldn't get off the toilet, type of thing.
Yeah. I feel that more in my hamstrings with those.
Yeah.
But I mean, day whatever, I'm sure you feel it everywhere. Like,
yeah,
that's crazy. I feel like tomorrow might be one of your tougher days after this, because your lower legs are gonna be a weird type of sore.
Yeah, tomorrow's leg day for me too, so it's gonna definitely suck. But yeah, I mean, this is the first time ever in my life I've ever done a tibialis anterior exercise. Yeah. But you got this off of knees over toe guy.
Knees over toe guy. Because I was just fed up with the shin splints, like you said. I just couldn't. I tried everything. Walking backwards up hills, ice baths, and this was the only. I mean, this fixed it in not even a week. It's a miracle. Like, seriously, it's like a miracle product. I'm not even putting a brand out there. It's not an ad. Like, this felt like a life hack, like a genuine one. Because you can tell it. You just have to try it, because you tried it and you feel that burn, that very unique. Like, I've never worked out this muscle group in my life. Yeah. And this is the last. I think this is the last set we're doing. We ended up doing 40 each, just banging 40. Them. I'm just banging them out, trying to get that uncomfortable burn just over with. But it's super helpful, and it completely cured my shin splints with nothing else would. So.
Yeah, the knees over toe guy, he definitely, like, his whole entire philosophy, I think he was, like, talking about, like, having a balance in between, like, you do a whole lot of calf raises, but you never do tibialis anterior exercises, ever. Like the opposite of doing a calf raise. Yeah. So I think about that a lot, like going backwards on a treadmill, like running backwards. Like, I don't even think about, like, doing backwards anything. So I did a whole lot of, like, quad exercises. You know, I squat every day. Yeah. But I've only gotten better recently about doing, like, hamstring exercises. I think that's, like, a muscle group that I've been sleeping on for a while. So, I mean, it's definitely really interesting. Whole different, like, lifting philosophy about doing, like, the reverse of everything that you usually do. You know, it's hard, you know. Those hamstring exercises are killer. Yeah.
I mean, with those just from watching those last few reps were a little struggle fest. But yeah, I was kind of cheating a little, lifting up my knees. When you really just focus on that, like that muscle group that you've never focused on before, it'll get you. But it is super healthy for your knees. I mean, I told you earlier today, I was like, dude, your legs are going to feel stronger, I swear. Even after just doing this a few times. Like, this is only 10 pounds we're doing here. We did 25 for 3 or 4 sets.
Yeah, exactly.
You really do. I would compare it to working out your forearms for the first time. Like, you're like, oh, this is a very important muscle group that really helps in all other areas of lifting and working out that I've never really worked out, like, before, focused on solely, is what I would say.
Yeah, exactly. Like, finding a new muscle to work out, it's insane. Like, I was after, like, in between each rep, I was telling Alex, like, I feel like the balls of my feet are, like, sinking into the ground. Like, I don't know, like, the muscle just feels like it's, like, flexing, even while I'm, like, standing on the ground. It just felt crazy. Anyway.
Well, we're running out of time, but I'm gonna have to do this again. It was a solid workout. It's been a long time, but catch me on my mediocre TikTok, AlexSmithLovesYou.
Yes, AlexSmithLovesYou.
Don't do any of this content, but man, I honestly low-key inspired. I kind of want to now.
Yeah, I know. Welcome to the Alpha Male Podcast. We're just Alpha Male Podcasting now, but yeah, go hit up my boy, AlexSmithLovesYou on TikTok.
Squat every day.
do you have anything else to say to the people at home?
Squat every day.
That's right. Never skip leg day. Every day is leg day.